Competition to Scarcity: California's Housing Crisis by Sovian Quesada. What is the problem? Californians, especially low-wage employees and renters, are having difficulty affording homes. The housing market has become oversaturated, causing crowding and failure to meet population growth. Crowding leads to inflation of housing prices, leaking into rental prices as well. Competition over housing aids in the saturation of housing prices as well, causing housing prices to skyrocket even further. Some statistics on California's housing crisis include a low number of housing units per metro, that being 32%, compared to metros in other states within the U.S. being 52%. Another is a 7% decline of median household income over the past year, followed by a 24% increase in the median rent costs in California. Finally, for every 100 low-income renters in California, only 33% of them will be able to attain available, affordable homes. How would a sociologist go about solving this problem? Identifying which groups of people an issue is affecting the most is key in dealing with sociological issues. In this case, a sociologist would break down California's social classes and recognize how the economy affects them each differently. California's housing crisis deals with a social paradigm known as conflict theory, which is also important to identify as to better understanding the type of problem a sociologist is dealing with. Conflict theory is a sociological concept that states in society, the absence of certain resources leads to competition and more conflict between groups of individuals. California's housing crisis fits the description as it has a snowball effect, the scarcity of housing leading to more and more individuals to struggle with the rise in demand and price. A sociologist would then go about proposing solutions and recognizing the pros and cons to said solutions. Who is this affecting the most? California's average salary lands at about $60,000 a year. That translates to about $5,000 per month. The average cost of a home in California comes out to about $750,000, which is up 4% compared to previous years. Monthly mortgage, including taxes and interest, comes out to just over $5,000, demonstrating how the housing crisis has made it so it is extremely difficult for an independent working-class citizen to be able to afford housing off of their own income alone. This then affects the prices of apartments and rental homes, rooms averaging about $2,000 a month in Los Angeles. The low-income citizens of California make up much of the population and make anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000 a year. That's anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month, making it even less likely they would be able to afford housing on their own. It is the low-income and unemployed population that feel the effects of the housing crisis the most, California currently having one of the highest homelessness rates compared to other states in the U.S. What proposed solutions are there to alleviating this issue for Californians? Financial aid, food stamps, and homeless shelters are all current attainable and viable resources available to those who are in need. It is important we inform struggling Californians of the help they can receive. As for the price of housing, we can spread awareness of the issue by utilizing our right to vote and letting our voices be heard by those in charge. Petitions, rallying, and supporting political figures with an interest in bettering the housing market are all long-term solutions Californians can pursue. Finally, encouraging co-living will aid in helping supply for housing even out closer to demand, giving others cheaper access to housing by splitting the expenses between multiple individuals. What are the pros and cons of our proposed solutions? Some of the cons include how long it would take to actually impact the economy and housing market through co-living and relying on political action, and how political action is never guaranteed. Another con is that to bring about change requires the action of lots of people at once to bring the attention to the issue and practice co-living enough to increase housing supply. As for pros, increasing housing supply is one of the perks that comes with co-living. Co-living is also currently available for people to seek out as a cheaper form of housing along with financial aid. Finally, by seeking out and practicing co-living, it financially affects society as a whole as a benefactor by becoming a source of income for homeowners while also providing low-income individuals with a cheaper housing option as opposed to renting and purchasing a house. To summarize, the biggest factors that are contributing to California's housing crisis include high demand for housing, which leads to competition that skyrockets housing prices for both rentals and purchasable homes. Change is possible through focusing on how these factors are affecting Californians, in this case being unaffordable housing and poverty. We ourselves are capable of acting to bringing about change by opening up our homes and practicing co-living. We can also participate in protests, advocating for political change. Finally, we can inform others how to get help and get help ourselves by searching for co-living opportunities and taking advantage of the financial aid opportunities currently available in California. References. Thank you.